out, so is Volibear. So Dragonborn's going straight for two very heavily contested jungles. Wow. I said that with Draven there almost.
It's interesting because one thing I actually see a bit in North America at least is when you have kind of the new guy there, they tend to have a weaker champion pool because if they're already incredibly strong, they'd normally be picked up by a team. And so with someone like Dexter, where he's just kind of thrown in, right, it's his first major competitive experience, you got to say, well, maybe he doesn't know as many champions as everyone else, and they try to target ban him out and get rid of that pool. Now we see the bans coming in through Dragonborns. They're just getting the Singe out the third time in a row though with no problems.
And I mean, he didn't do that well in Lille, but we'll see if he's been working on it. See, he's been melding with his team because I don't believe he's played that much with them before Lille. So we'll see how that time's really helped them out. Kayle was left open, and actually wouldn't be surprised if Against Authority picks it up as their first kind of pick. But the last two bans, I just want to go back to that real quick. Twisted Fate and Thresh taken out. Okay. Thresh, I mean, you should take him out. Mover plays a pretty good Thresh. Krois as well. I think he actually did play Thresh a couple of times and did extraordinarily well. And then the Jarvan was also the final ban in there too. So it looks like there's a lot of certain bans on Dragonborn's side to set something up, because you don't normally take out two junglers like that.
No, but they have done that so far. They're considering the rest of their options, Elise right now being looked at. And of course, we've seen so much Lux from Shushei to pretty good effect, I think, overall. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know he's done pretty well in the champion in general. We'll see where they go. Yeah,
I mean, one game that comes key to my mind is them versus SK, where he got that double kill on mid lane, and that pretty much snowballed the game for them. He's also even played top lane Lux, if I'm not mistaken, in 1v2 situations. But we'll see how it works out this game. We do have the Kayle and Shen locked in for Against All Authorities, so that nice ultimate out of Kayle, not to mention Shen, they can pretty much keep someone alive for as long as they possibly want, which is going to be very, very good to counter a Lux, especially if you see your AD carry get that snared, pop that on him, and you cannot burst him down.
And surprisingly, I mean, seriously, surprisingly, Nona was picked Ezreal. I've
either like that or
never seen that before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing about him, though, and we've all seen it before, is he likes to overextend with Ezreal quite a bit. He does it with a lot of ADs, but he has an arcane shift he always depends on to back out, and Thresh has always been that one champion that kind of counters him when he does that. So they took that out, and he's going to pick it up, and as well as Sona.
Well, it's interesting. You know, they've got actually the favored support there, the favored AD carry as well. So Against All Authority, look really good for comfort picks. Yeah,
that's Sona. That crescendo is going to really be crucial. We saw it with SK last game and against the Wolves, and that charm into that crescendo would always lock down the Wolves and really set the entire fight. And the Ezreal as well. I mean, I want to go back to that just a little bit because that's a nice poke lane they have. I'm curious to see if they're going to go for a potential lane swap on top of that. But listen, I have to do this. He's sitting on Varus because that's also one of his really highly played champions, and he plays a phenomenal Varus.
All right, and of course you're seeing an interesting mismatch. That's the word, mismatch in lanes, because you just mentioned that poke lane from Against All Authority. Meanwhile, if they do lock this in, Varus Blitzcrank pretty all in.
Yeah, if they do actually commit with that Blitzcrank, he pulls Sona in. She's so squishy. I mean, it's been on Reddit talking about she has like 10 more health than a minion with no runes or masteries kind of thing. So if you do get a nice pull into her, even though Ezreal is like a hard counter to that, she would die. But in the end, they still have a lot of damage, even though they don't actually lock in that Blitzcrank. Lulu, you get the nice slow. You still have a nice follow-up the rest of the team.
All right, so now that we see Dragonborn's lineup, you can go to AA if you want, but you know, what is this Dragonborn's lineup looking like?
Well, they have a very bursty team. I mean, yeah, we do have Elise. Not sure exactly where she's going to be going at. Most likely in the top lane, I'm going to have to say. But you mix that percent damage in with Lux, with Varus as well, who does percent damage. You can blow someone up instantly. You don't have a really tanky lineup. All you really have is that Zin's out. But you have Lulu for the pseudo-tankiness. Over on Against the Authority side, you have a Diana. So you have that very kind of dive composition. Like, if you have dive buddies between her and Shen, even Kayle on top of that, you just can go in, pick up a kill or two on a turret, and then back off away and escape with your life. So looks like they want to take an early advantage Against Authority and then try to snowball that towards the rest of the game. But the same thing, in my opinion, for Dragonborns. I always talk about this where, you know, Lux, you need to kind of get a couple kills early on, because if you fall behind, you don't have that burst you need to kill someone right away. And she's already like in a deficit, considering there's a Shen and a Kayle on the other team.
All right, well, we'll see just how well that defensive composition ends up working here. You do see the picks and bans ready on your screen. And the interesting thing is, I almost wonder if we're going to see AA like swap their champion at the last second, because Kayle, Shen, and Diana can all jungle. Kayle, Shen, and Diana can all top lane, and we've seen Diana and Kayle both go in the mid, at least in North America.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing to do. That's why I'm always hesitant to do it, because it's like, if this team beats this team and this team beats this team, that'll eventually happen. We do see Xuxe teleporting into the mid lane yet again. We've seen this happen before. I believe it was against Gambit Gaming. It didn't work out for him well here. They are going to ward. He's actually just going to ward that up. But it looks like with the way Against All Authority is running, he might be able to catch someone here.
Yeah, and again, he's got light binding potentially, and AA will not know that that is warded. There's no way for them to tell that's happened, and they might sit in that brush and sit around and wait. The thing is, they've got to surround a Corellius. Will they go for the light binding? It doesn't hit, but it hits Nono. Is that going to be enough damage? Rex removes it. He does pick up first blood. That teleport ward just got Dragonborn's first blood.
Great play out of DB right there. They pulled off before. It didn't work out, but this time they capitalized on it, and that was hilarious because you see the light binding going for cross. He flashed it, and you're like, oh, it didn't hit anyone. And then Nono's like, hey guys, I'm here. I got hit, and he gets killed in the end. Didn't pop flash, didn't pop barrier. But so great play out of Dragonborns right off the bat. They got the kill over to Dexter, who goes back and picks up a Razor right off the bat.
Oh my gosh. That is just so powerful too, because he's got so much more jungle speed now that, like, if we don't see Dexter out jungle Virtual and put more gank pressure, there is something wrong.
Yeah.
If you speak of morale, yeah.
That's very true. He's going to be so quick. The thing is, he won't even need to like commit smites on buffs, so he could potentially go for invade if he wants to. And they do actually have a ward on that blue buff. I just seen on your screen right there. So, being able to spot where Virtual is actually going to start, we could see him, go for double golems, maybe go for a late invade, or maybe go for his red buff and just take more of a safe path.
Yeah. Well, we do see everyone kind of helping each other jungle right now. Diana and Kale did help themselves to the Wraiths. Dexter got a little bit of support, and he's actually going to just solo the Lizard as the rest of the team actually looks to invade a bit on the blue buff. Problem is Virtual's there and he has smite.
Oh, Hosen, he's sitting off to the side. He wants to go for it. They do have that ward. He's not going to... Oh, he does smite it down instead. And Hosen wasn't able to steal it away with that Q.
And he thought he was in Fog of War and thought he could just steal that away, but again, AA felt a little bit pressured.
Dexter, he got so unlucky with procs here. Look how low he is just on the red buff. That's got to suck when you get that Razor as your first item and then just get 0 procs on a buff.
That is a little bit harsh. Of course, no bonus attack speed or bonus attack procs. He went E first, so it hurt his attack speed at least, but I think it's standard for going for the gank, of course. Now, Shlaya is going to be top laning here with Kale, normally the mid laner for the team, and they've actually swapped Freddy122 to fight heads up against Xuxe in the mid lane. Yamato Cannon actually forced away. Kale seems to be winning that matchup. Yamato has to go all the way around the map. And
that was all due to Against Authority spreading out, taking camps all together so each of them would lock down one, and he got that early advantage, was able to push him out of lane. That's a great play so far of Against Authority to turn around that first blood into an advantage.
And it's very, very strong, and you're seeing now the gold lead. You get 600 gold total for an assisted first blood, but we're only seeing a 400 gold lead overall for Dragonborn. So AAA have certainly succeeded against a really sort of rough early game and are clawing their way back in. We're seeing, once again, more or less default lanes, 1-on-1, 1-on-1, and 2-on-2. Dexter now looking for this mid lane gank. He's just going to walk right out into the Fog of War.
I love how Against Authority really dealt with that early first blood. They warded extra. They have a ward in the top lane, they have a ward in the river to spot that gank that we just saw happening. They have wards towards the bottom. So basically, yeah, he got the first kill, he got a Razor. He wasn't able to invade and take away any jungle buffs. He wasn't able to go for an early gank, so they shut that down even though they lost that first death.
All right, so of course, great play by Against All Authority. We're seeing Xuxe go for the light binding. Flash comes out. And Freddy will survive that one, but the pressure is here in the bottom lane. Look at the damage on a No-No. He's taking a bit of punishment as well. Mover taking a bit as well. Light bindings, sorry, not light bindings. The Mystic Shot's coming out, doing a bit of poke. And looks like everyone's safe here.
But at least Against Authority, in their favor, they have that sustain. Kroos was able to pick up his Sona here. He has enough mana as well with that Fairy Charm to really heal up No-No, so that's going to be a little bit of advantage for their part, but Dragonborns, you saw the burst, just what they potentially can do when they get a little bit of damage in.
And Yamato Cannon finding a little bit of pressure from Shlaya in the top lane, still taking a bunch of pain, trying to run away Cocoons, and just keeps running. He's going to be safe.
And still, that's the second time in a row he's forced him out of lane. The first time wasn't from damage, it was just from the pressure. But this time, forced him out through that damage. It's going to deny him a little bit of extra. Actually, it's not really going to deny him anything since the minions won't kill those 3 creep waves. But still, it's applying a lot of pressure to him, and it allows, if the jungler wants to come in for a potential gank, if he can do that yet again.
And of course, we're just going to see if that ends up happening here. That top lane definitely going very, very well for Against All Authority. The mid lane actually very, very close at 24-21. And of course, we're watching this bottom lane, 28-26, very, very close as well. So right now, Against All Authority, the way they're going to win against Dragonborns is going to be that top lane so far.
And we have to point out one thing though real quick, is that Xuxe has a Cage's Lucky Pick as his first pickup. So even though he might be behind or ahead in CS, he will be extra further ahead. We've seen the bot lane, a lot of damage going down.
There's a lot of pain right there. Hosan, of course, pretty low as well. The exhaust is there. The barrier bait is on. No-No is safe. He's going to go with the barrier from Hosan, keeps him alive. And you would have thought Nono would have thought of that when he just pulled the same trick himself. And that is another kill picked up here for Dragonborn.
And that's what I was saying about Hosan. He's such a good AD carry. When he gets rolling, he's just going to snowball on you. Great play by him. Oh, Cross even got a little bit low off of that Q. But a great bait right there with that barrier.
You know what's interesting, actually, is that Hosan is actually maxing Q on Varus. We normally see max E followed by W. It's going to be different this time. Dexter's going to find the mid lane, though. Freddy has been light behind it. They're going for the damage. His flash is down. They've got a lot of damage here. Will they keep following up? She's going to put a lot of damage back. The flash taunt from Shen's going to miss, but it will keep his team alive. Yamato Cannon in the top lane, though, has picked up Schleia.
Oh, wow. So he was behind in CS. He got pushed on lane a couple of times, but he was able to pick up that kill. And I want to go back to Hosan real quick because he was on the analysis desk, and he pointed out saying, I'm the only AD carry, or like, because he was talking about the Q and how much damage it does, like just off a base. He's like, I'm the only one that actually levels it up on him. Yeah, because he likes the extra bit of poke. You saw how much damage he can do to Karalis and Nono, and it works out well for him.
He almost stole the blue with that as well. It wasn't. Yeah. It was only the fact that AAA felt so pressured that they even didn't smite it, and that would have been potentially a blue steal.
And that would have been hilarious. Like, well, it would have been very disappointing for Virtual to lose that away, but at least to commit that smite. I believe Karalis did see him when he walked around the corner, so he just had to smite it just to lock it down. But we do have Hosan. He went back. He bought a Doran's Blade and a Vamp Scepter, so that sustain he didn't have in lane, he's now going to have.
And that's going to be a pretty harsh matchup. Normally, as an AD carry player myself, I tend to be a little bit sad when I fight against Sona because they have more sustain than I do. But now Hosan should be pretty safe overall, and we'll see how this pans out, of course. Still heads up in this bottom lane. Now a 10-minion lead for Hosan, and of course, in addition to the assist he got. So suddenly, Dragonborns have a lane to call their own that's obviously advantageous.
Yeah, not to mention they're 3-0 up at this point. So they got the first blood. They're able to continue that snowball off of that. And it's just, I'm just so amazed in the top lane just how Yamato King was able to pick up a kill when he kept getting forced out over and over. His red pot is popped, so I'm assuming he kind of baited him in a little bit right there.
Yeah.
But we do have Dexter, who, even though he wasn't able to counter gank anything, or not counter gank, able to really open up any opportunities right now, he still has some pretty good items at this point.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. That 400 gold puts, ooh, nice try on the blue steal, but not going to happen here, Shushe. And the interesting thing as well is we talk about Dexter in the early game saying, dude, it's got to be this guy to put pressure on his lanes. All of the kills from lanes have not been from Dexter. He got the first blood gold, actually hasn't translated it into a minion kill lead over Shen. And the kill top lane and the kill bottom lane were just heads-up fights, so it seems Dragonborns can do it without him.
Right. Well, that's a little harsh to say, Freak. A little harsh.
No, I'm complaining Dragonborns. I'm not saying Dexter's bad. I'm saying they're just winning lanes without him.
That's the thing where it's, I don't know if it's his fault because wards are so easily accessed now early on that he gets shut down like that. The only way he's going to come in was through the lanes, but it didn't happen in the end. We do see him actually catching Virtual as we speak of him.
And Against Authority looking for a dive. They do land the taunt on a Dexter. He's taking a lot of punishment right now. The slow still not up from cooldown. The shield comes out from Shushe. And Dragonborns are safe, at least coming in from the side. We have a 3-on-3 here. And actually, Dragonborns will just ward and then back out a little bit.
A little surprise right there. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually went in for the blue because they already had extra low. He's going to have to back out and heal up. Even Shushe went back right now. So if they can steal this blue buff, they're going to shut Shushe down, who didn't kind of itemize for any mana regen minus the Fairy Charm that he picked up at level 1. So it's going to keep him quite down in that middle lane. Might actually give Freddy 1-2 that advantage he needs because he is level 7, and that's where Diana's damage really starts to kick off.
And we'll see how that pans out. Of course, Shushe just rushing that Morella Namicon for now. See if that pans out to his favor. Hosan and Mover still pushing this bottom lane. Krellis goes for the crescendo, though. A lot of damage there. Shen ult comes by as well, but here comes the ult. It's going to land on a Nono as well, and Hosan still able to run away from this one. They land the slow onto Corellius, and they are getting a lot of damage. At least actually stopped the ult from Shen, so he did not show up from that one. That was a good cocoon, so Dragonborns going about tied in this 2-on-2.
I had to go back and look at that, but yeah, it was such a good cocoon. And the thing was, Corellius expected him to come in, so he flashed to get Shen there, so he can go for a nice taunt since Virtual Use is in the middle lane. So they ended up getting the flash out of Corellius on top of that, and now they have the ability to probably go for a kill here under turret.
And that's going to be an interesting situation. Corellius about above half health right now, a little bit low on mana. We'll see if that pans out. Dragonborns, though, are just on push duty. The Glitter Lance coming out. That's got to have a number of points into it right now, because it's doing a pretty good amount of damage. Yep, rank 3 it is, which is as high as you can get at a level 6 Lulu. So Dragonborn is just shoving this bottom lane and pulling aggression toward themselves.
And the CS lead that he's currently gaining is just keeps going up. He was 10 up earlier, now he's about 20 at this point. And as long as he keeps shoving into the turret, he's actually denying Nono quite a bit of CS. He even comes in for a little bit more chip as possible.
We see Shen actually waiting right in the fog of war. Nono going for a bit of aggression as well. Mover taking a bunch of pain, but they fire back pretty successfully. Mover running himself away. Hosan just sustaining Shen was waiting for a gank up at the mid lane, could not quite find it. Hosan, though, still playing hyper aggressive. They have just the one ward in the river, and just off of that, they said, yeah, we can push on hard enough. We're not afraid of Shen.
That's what I kind of like about Dragonborn, is because Host is not afraid to do that, so he'll constantly push up. He'll force the jungle to come and deal with them. But in the meantime, we do see the top lane Virtual. He's sitting in that Travis, potentially trying to go for a gank on Yamato Cannon. It looks like he will engage. All
right, there's going to be the pressure. Yamato kind of going for the stun, but has to be afraid. Nice. Cocoon gets him away from Shen. He's going to drop right on top of that, has to flash away, but Virtual is there. He's got blue buff. He's getting blocked by minions and cannot find Yamato Cannon, who had also completed boots too. He's actually running faster than him too.
That was a great repel out of Dexter, or Yamato Cannon right there to dodge that taunt. Really set him up. In the meantime, we do see the bot lane. Could have Dexter going in for another gank another gank here.
And they're looking for it. They find a lot of damage on Corelli as the ult comes off as well. There's no way he's going to survive off of that one. And Dexter says, yeah, I'll tank turret aggro. Not a big problem. Still at half health. A free kill picked up, and that is a very good gank from Dexter.
And with that kill and that turret, they could potentially go for Dragon right off of this as well, because they still have that Madrid's Razor onto Dexter. They knew that Virtual was in that top lane, and that might secure them their first team kill of the game.
They are running towards it, but they all actually in unison recall instead. So synchronized swimmers here, it seems, from Dragonborns. They're going to go all together back home, buy some new items. BF Sword picked up for Hosan. He's going to be scary.
Yeah, he is. Especially when leveling up that Q, he gets bonus damage from the bonus attack damage. But in the mid lane, wow, Shushay getting chunked right now.
And you look at the shield, keeping him alive as best he can. Freddy's going to take counterattack damage as well. Shushay, ooh, takes another Q to the face. That is painful.
And he's going to be forced out of lane right now on top of that. And Freddy, 122, was able to take a nice CS lead. We actually was able to get his, actually he wasn't able to get his own blue, but he still had the cages lucky pick. In terms of gold, he's actually ahead at this point, even though he's down in CS because of that assist and because of the lucky pick.
And that is very, very impressive overall. I mean, just to see that, you know, the top lane got flipped on its head, and then the mid lane got flipped as well. Freddy successful here with that lane swap. You mentioned it. Man, I can't talk either.
Yeah,
you mentioned it in the pregame. Freddy is the top laner. I put air quotes, by the way. And he went mid instead.
I think we should just change that on graphics and everything, because we just always assume he's going to be going towards the middle lane now. We did have Shushay. He ulted that middle wave because he wanted it back, but also it seems like they wanted to push it a little bit. So they could potentially go for Dragon. They actually do have a ward for Against Authority and Dragonborns, but no pink to counter it. So I guess they're not going to be going for a team kill anytime soon.
No, they don't seem to be looking at that one at all. Apparently they've not taken notes from the Wolves, because they did that pretty successfully. And now it's AAA actually looking to kill the 6th member of Dragonborns. This could be interesting. They are definitely going for it right now. It's going to be a heads-up 5-on-4 because they do not have Elise on at all. They find the pull on a mover, taking a bunch of damage. Cristiano goes off, finds Hosan. He's been exhausted. Can Freddy pick up the kill? Mover ults himself. He's going to get away. Hosan running out as well. The ult finds everybody, and just everyone got rooted aside from Shlaya. So they all get away from that one. Elise is not even being pulled down. She's going to go for the turret to trade for this Dragon. And yeah, they're still pressuring on this Dragon, though. We're seeing it go back and forth. Shlaya flashes in. Will he find the damage onto Hosan? He's going to win this duel. Lux steals it away. Great pickup there, but Nona will show up. This should be a free kill. Ults himself. The barrier bait, not going to be enough. Shlaya picks that kill up, but they should trade the turret. So Dragon and turret for 1 kill.
That couldn't have gone any better for Jack. Well, it could have if I guess Hosan didn't die right there. But such a great job by them right there. Shushay with a perfect ulti. Virtual Demon used his smite there during that. And they also committed a lot of summoners as well. Shlaya popping that ghost, or that flash and ignite to go for that kill on the Hosan.
Yeah, Freddy knocked up into the air there. He's going to find Shushay, but does not go for the kill. Of course, low on mana himself. Tries to last it a cannon now under the turret. So, to recap, guys, we are 14 minutes into this game. Dragonborns, this looks eerily similar to the first game, where they were winning the early game. They're certainly ahead here, up 4,500 gold. 14 minutes, up 3 kills. Up a Dragon, technically, doing pretty good job overall. But remember that AAA always has tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah, they could go for potentially another base race if they want to, but I don't think I think the communications will be a little bit better on Dragonborn's side this time. Shushay is able to pick up his first blue of the game right now, as you hear that laugh being spammed away. And Yamato Cannon, I mean, he picked up that first kill, got an assist, and was able to get the top turret as well. So he's forcing Shlaya to stay in that top lane. But as you see on the screen, we are back in the game here, and I think we had a little bit delay of people not being able to buy certain...
Yeah, apparently not enough gold was the reason last time when Svenskeren couldn't buy Locket. It was that he was down 50 gold. Apparently numbers are hard to read.
I didn't want to bring that one up, but I'm kind of glad you did.
Hey man, if it makes the game, like, just saying, not buying items is a pretty bold accusation when you can't do math.
Well, anyways, it looks like that was resolved, as we do see a potential 3-man push happening on that middle lane. And we do see Leandra's Torment done for Yamato Cannon, so I'm kind of surprised, or sorry, not wow, not done. Haunting Guy's done. I was going to say that's a ballsy first move as an item, but In North America, we don't really see... Actually, sorry, we do see Shen coming in for a gank on this top side. We'll get back to that in a second.
All right, he's going to look for this one. Yamato Cannon still in the brush. I don't know where he's quite going to go. He does land the taunt onto Virtual, still going for the damage on Ashlea, but he's still getting pushed down. Now into Spider form. Where is he going to go with this one? Pops the Cocoon. He goes down to the bottom left. He's pulled the team far enough away, but there's a flash taunt coming out. That's going to be enough damage. Ashlea picks up the kill onto Yamato Cannon.
Great. Actually, great play right there by Virtual. Was committed to using that flash. And in the end, Dragonborn is trying to go for a mid push here, but it was fended off by against Authority. We do see the flash crescendo.
And they do get it, but they're going to go back onto Corellius. The Ezreal comes out, flashed away by Shushay. They pick up one, and now it is Dexter forced to run away. He's going to survive that one. Lucid Singularity slowing it down. Diana as well, and they are safe. Overall, 1-for-1 on the map.
And we talked to Croix about this because he flashed crescendo, I believe, only 2 members of Dragonborns, but he's always said that, you know, if I ever hit one person, it's because I want to. I want to single them out, and I just want to kill them. And as I start there, it didn't work out too well for him as he was turned around upon. But in the meantime, it was enough to be able to get against the Authority of that top turret.
They did burn some summoners from Shushay. He had to run away from the Ezra ult. They actually coordinated that one, saying, no, get ready to use True Shot Barrage. Gonna look for that one. They didn't find it. Hosan, he's going to wave clear mid. Nono's going to be sitting there just farming away the bottom lane at the same time. So the AD carries certainly being given farm to themselves. But I want to look at the advantages individually, though, because we have this 4,000 gold lead, and you look kind of across the lines, and it's, well, read them away.
Well, you're currently seeing 5,500 gold on Hosan to the 4,300 gold of Nono, which really is a big story because if we look at the items yet again, we just see how far ahead that Hosan kind of is, because he's going for that Blade of the Rune King, which is a standard item nowadays, especially with this passive when he kills a minion or champion, gets that extra attack speed, so it's going to be a great item for him, especially when he doesn't have any outs besides that flash. You're going to use that extra slow and then take the movement speed away from the champion and just kind of run away. But with that CS lead he has, with those 4 assists, and actually, he's a support AD carry, now that I look at it, because Mover has 1 kill.
Yes, he's playing Gambit Gaming style. It is Edward, a.k.a. Movert, who has the kills in that bottom lane. And we can see now that they've kind of squared themselves back off in their lanes. Varus heading to the bottom lane. Sona, Scumbag Sona, stealing 11 minion kills so far.
Securing the minion kills.
Securing 11 minion kills so far. Freddy going to go back to his default mid lane here. Kale still at the top, but actually Dragonborns have sent Yamato to the mid, so they're pushing this mid lane a little bit. Problem is it's 4-on-4.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can actually take it, especially since Against Authority has some, has some decent wave clear, especially with Freddy there with that Crescent Strike. But, looking at the items so far, we don't see an Aegis coming out of Dragonborns just yet. And when you're against a double AP comp, I would have to say that you need to lock in that Runic Bulwark to really get that magic resist to everyone on your team.
Yeah, they're starting it now. You've got the Ruby Crystal on Dexter, which I assume is his next pickup after that Locket. But you're just seeing really damage and now durability coming out from Yamato Cannon. We'll see how that pans out for him, of course. Hosan just ever on that sort of split push, right? He runs away if someone shows up, but he's certainly getting a lot of farm. Yeah,
and that's what he needs to keep doing, because he's extended the CS lead to about 50 CS right now. And if he keeps doing that, if he keeps keeping Nono at his second turret, that means they can go for a potential 5-on-4 engage on the mid lane or just get turrets easily.
All right, so we'll see how that pans out, of course. They're still keeping themselves equal items. It's interesting because basically the only difference is where Nono has the Vamp Scepter, Hosan has actually upgraded that into just the Cutlass, and otherwise they're matching it very, very closely, both looking at Infinity Edge. Virtual is going to look for not quite anything, does not have Flash, so we can't taunt in onto that one just yet. Hosan's still at the bottom lane, but all of AAA are starting to group down. Well, 4 of AAA are grouping down towards the mid lane right there, as Nono is still on the right-hand side. Corellius going for a pink ward does have some decent control now over the Dragon area. That will come up very, very soon.
Yeah, about 10 seconds. So it looks like they are going to shove that mid lane. They were trying to get that middle turret. We do see the engage actually happening out of Freddy on the Dexter. But
they do find Dexter. The shields are there. The Crescendo goes off as well. They find him, but he is the tankiest member on that team. Gets the Wild Growth as well. And the team is forced to now disengage both of them, really, as the AD carries try to make their ways back into this fight. Nono is here. We've got 5 for AAA. Light Binding does not quite land. Hosan, he's a bit alone. Will they find him? Looks like they won't, but they've now got control over Dragon.
And that'd be a nice picket for Against Authority to kind of close this gap lead, or this gold lead. Virtual in the top lane, split pushing away. It's become the league of split pushing, I swear. The rest of Dragonborns are going to go for a push on this mid lane, so Against Authority did stop Dragon, and it looks like they potentially want to go for an engage here.
And they are looking for something. Of course, many of their tools are down, and they've actually now kind of put themselves a full screen apart right now. Everyone is safe once again. Now, Against Authority grouping up. Again, towards Dragon. They do have Shen in the top lane. He's got his ultimate available. This is AA taking this one pretty safely. We'll see if they can get another steal out of this one, but no one from Dragonborns are ready for that one. Glitter Lance was close, but the red team has slain the Dragon. Of course, they didn't have their smite there, so it was anyone's choice.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're probably going to kick themselves if they ended up missing that. We do have Virtual. He's actually kind of out of position right here, and they might be able to close in on him.
Yeah, they're looking for it, but of course his Shadow Dash should still be up. He will be able to get it. They're going to go for it. Dexter putting out the damage. Light Binding does land as well, but of course they know he has the Shadow Dash. They do not overextend for that one. They got him down to half health though.
Yeah, they don't really have the burst, at least with those two members there, to really take him down just yet. As we see, oh, he did get those. He did get that Wraith, but we do see the engage actually out of Diana.
Yeah, Freddy putting out a lot of damage right there. Gets healed back up by his team. Slowed by the Glitter Lance. He's in a little bit of a rough spot. Down to half health. The rest of Dragonborn's fairly safe. So I would say a bit of an ill-fated engage. Nono still pushing down in this bottom lane. The wave clear coming out from Shushay. Of course, Blue Buff helping with that one a little bit. And he's actually sat there not completing the Morel and Hamacon the entire time. He's going for a death cap now. Yeah,
why not get the extra bit of burst on? But that's the thing that really confuses me, is that when you're against a Shen and a Kayle, if you do lock someone down with that burst, like, he could stop it. And that's the big thing that Lux needs to have. You need to be able to pretty much one-shot someone, most likely the AD carry, to really open up the entire fight for your team.
Oh, but there we go. The death cap is completed. He's going to be at least putting out big shields. We'll see if that ends up mattering a whole heck of a lot. Right now, though, he is falling a little bit behind as you just see his I guess, yeah, his lane opponent here with Freddy, just 170 to 150. He's certainly doing very, very well on Diana. You're seeing pretty much tied in the top lane, 160 apiece. The only real massive lead you're seeing from Dragonborns is that AD carry, the Blade of the Ruin King completed Varus.
And that's going to be kind of heavy to go up against for the other team. However, they're not really building health at this point, so it won't be as effective, honestly, but still, as the game does progress, they're going to be building health to really kind of sustain these fights. And speaking of health, you look over at Yamato Ken, he has a Warmogs, and I was talking in the picks and bans that no one's really tanky on Dragonborn side except Dexter, but Yamato Ken's going to go for that Warmogs instead to really help even out the damage.
Yeah, thankfully his lane turned around, so he actually got some farm onto himself, and of course, the one kill helped a bit as well, I would say. The Dragonborns now, they're the ones grouping up. Of course, there's no real buffs available on that side of the map, but they're looking for the turret. They land the stun onto Freddy. Look at the burst damage coming out. Of course, they realize Kale's available to keep him alive, plus 2 healers on the lineup. But no, though, he's the one under pressure right now. Hosat's looking for that one, and he flashed away thinking that might have been the ultimate coming out, and he had to flash.
Yeah, I mean, it's better safe than sorry right there, to be honest. But that was a great point, pointing out the 2 healers, because if you do try to burst someone, you get double heal on them, especially with Schleya, who might build a little bit, or at least a little bit of AP, 185 at this point. They're going to heal them up enough that they probably won't be burst down the end. So they have a really good counter to that, but we do see a nice 5-man push on the bottom lane from Dragonborn. Shen is in the top lane right now, but they won't be able to defend this.
I don't know, they're not at all. Of course, it's going to be a 5-on-5 very soon. Dragonborns need to be aware of their positioning. They find Freddy again. They go for the ult. The burst is there. Lux actually misses the ulti, but they're going to come all on in. 5v5. Dexter in the front. They've got a dash on up. There's 1 kill picked up now for Diana. They're now Yamato Cannon in the front. Has to flash over the wall. They're going to chase this one down. Freddy, he's going to find a double kill here for Diana, and she is not done hunting down dragons. The Dovahkiin is on the hunt. Mover must flash away, but he's still being chased down. Freddy still trying to find Mover. The damage output is there. 3 kills for Freddy in this fight, and that's going to be Dragonborn still running away.
And they might be able to get another turret on top of this as well, so get a nice bit of an advantage right there as they're just going to go ahead and face tank that down. And I noticed that Mover's actually running the Dragon Lulu skin, so that's kind of fun.
Dragon Trainer Lulu. That's
but that
so nice.
But that was a great turnaround, because yeah, we saw Lux miss the ulti, which is
on a rooted target.
Yeah, a little bit weird. But it was also Shed ulti on top of that, but still, like, they got caught from that, and they were able to get a fight turned around against them. So against Authority, lost 1 turret, but picking up those 3 kills and a turret on top of that, very much in their favor. And also, Freddy went to 2, 3-0 now. Yeah,
he had an amazing fight right there. Was not involved in any battles until then. And yeah, you mentioned it in Champs, like really the anti-catch available from AAA works really well against the catch from Dragonborns. You just get the Shen ult, the Kayle ult, and yeah, your burst doesn't quite matter anymore. Hosan almost walked into 2 members of AAA. If they just sat there, there'd be another kill picked up for themselves. But in the aftermath of that battle, we see ourselves only 1,400 gold away. This game now is suddenly neck and neck. You can see the individual gold now on your screen. And yeah, we mentioned that Lux was doing so well before, but now it's actually Freddy who's kind of taken the advantage there. He's got the most gold on his team, but still not as much as Hosan.
So I have a question for you, Freak, because we saw Shushay use an early teleport into the mid lane to get that first blood. Hasn't used it since. You know, Joe and I always talk about where if you take teleport, you don't really make plays off of it. Minus obviously the first time we saw it, it's kind of a wasted summoner spell. You can't really split push too well with Lux. But I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, normally when we see that, it's on champions like Ryze who have huge high impact sort of ganks. But when you look at the lanes, right? You look at bottom lane, Dragonborns was pushing the entire time, so there was never a teleport gank available. They had Dexter gank from behind the turret, that was smart. And the top lane, no one really wards lane brush top lane, so they never flanked Kayle. Now he could have done it. He could have, you know, at least could have shoved, put a ward down, said, hey, we're going to come kill this guy at level 5. They could have. They didn't choose to, of course, but there wasn't even an opening for it. There was no jungle counter gank. He just didn't have anything open.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see how it works later on, because obviously he could teleport, come in with a home guard of boots, and then catch someone off guard with a nice light binding. Yeah. I guess we'll see how it works as they do progress on. Shushay can be picking up his blue yet again, ideally here, and that's going to help with that Morello Nomicon. He's going to have that nice cooldown reduction, so if they want to go for fights, he might be able to get off 2 of his lasers at this point. But we also have to look at something that's kind of interesting, is that levels. Shushay is level 13 to his counterpart 14, so he's behind. We have Yamada Canon's 14 to the 15 of Shlaya. Nono is losing to Hosen at this point, but against Authority has a nice bit of a level advantage. Even the junglers, Virtual's 13 to level 11 of Dexter. So if they get that level 16 a little early, they'll have that extra damage, that level 3 rank of Ultimate, which will really can potentially shut down Dragonborns.
That is a really, really good point. They certainly, it's interesting, it's difficult to call this game because they are very, very close. Small advantages one side, gold on one, experience on the other, and it really just kind of depends how this game pans out. The most recent fight, of course, went to against All Authority, and they are grouped up looking for, again, a fight onto Dragon right here. We'll see if DB stops them.
Oh, they all move it. Ooh, yeah, because they don't have a ward right there. And it looks like they were trying to go for like a flank potentially. We do Mover Homeless getting taunted right there, but we had a potential flank coming around. But so Dragonborns does just disengage.
And the shield there from Lux blocks most of Diana's, where she's actually going to go in on a Hosan. Here comes the engagement. Look at the KO keeping everyone alive. Hosan in dangerous locations right now. No help at all. Gets another shield. He's going to survive. But now Mover has been caught, and look at the damage output. They found one. They forced Hosan out. They've got basically a 5-on-3 right here.
And that was an Oracle they took down right there. Hosan almost dropped right away, but the barrier came up with the Lux shield. It's able to save him. And then we saw the missed flash crescendo out of Corrales, unfortunately, which might have helped them pick up a kill, but still in the end, they're going to get a dragon off of this, and they might be able to push down that mid lane and get that turret.
Well, they've gotten wave cleared again by Shushay. He does not want that to go down. Virtual and Shlaya, they're going to pick up the easy dragon right here, which I've probably miscounted, but I think that makes it 2-1 so far. You gave me a thumbs up. So if I'm wrong, also Flame Jason, thank you. I actually got tweeted at last time that it was actually 3 oracles that Nif had bought so far. 3? So apparently I got that one wrong. But Hosan getting the lizard buff for himself. He's in a good place. Nono is just farming up his way in the top lane. And he's got pretty decent items now, of course, with the Infinity Edge there.
I just noticed that too, and I was like, huh. So he doesn't have a lot of poke. Doesn't have a Bloodthirster, you know, for that extra nice bit of poke damage. Has Infinity's Edge, so he's going for like an auto attack based champion.
Yeah.
But you don't really see that typically out of Ezreal anymore, and I'm curious to see how it actually works out in the end for him, because we did see him kind of building up to it. Yeah. But I didn't really expect him to go for it.
No, it is what he's gone for right here, and of course he added Mercury Treads on top, so he's just relying on the passive for attack speed. Now just grabbed a Zeal, so full-on standard AD carry setup, and Dragonborn's group in mid. And
speaking of attack speed, you mix that in with the 2 Nashor's Tooth, 1 on Kayle, 1 on Diana. If you can land that nice Essence Bucks across your team, you're going to be attacking so quick, you're going to do so much damage that they can pretty much meet Dragonborn's burst practically.
Yeah, and even Shen scales off of attack speed, so Ezreal actually helps this team quite a lot. They all auto-attack a fair bit, except for Sona, but no one cares about Sona. Mover, though, is right there by the Baron. Doesn't actually sweep out any of these wards at all. He's got to group up with his team. He's actually isolated on the left-hand side. They've all got to group back around. So Dragonborns do not have presence just yet. It is not Christmas for them. So AAA, here we go. Group back towards the mid. No, they sent Nona to the top lane. So again, the French are split pushing.
And he's still behind in CS at this point. You know, 50 CS still, which is kind of crazy considering that Nona's been split pushing this entire time. He's always been in the sidelines, never usually there for the team fights except that ultimate. But Hosan, even though he's 0-1-4, has Infinity's Edge done, has the Blade of the Rune King, is going to be doing insane amount of damage, and he actually went for a very early home guard boost.
Yeah, they've actually grabbed that a lot on this team. They've got 3. They've grabbed the Sinjao, they've got it on Lux and Varus, so we'll see how that pans out. The thing is, they're not really in danger of losing their base necessarily, but they do want to get back into the action quickly. Hosan and Mover sweeping out some wards right now. There are still some on the Baron, though. So Dragonborn's actually with limited vision themselves.
And I'm curious to see what the next big play is going to be, because Dragon's down for a while. Blue buff for Dragonborn should be up fairly shortly, and I think as well as for against All Authority. So I'm thinking that might be the next big play if they can deny that away from Shushay, since he doesn't have any mana regen and he's going for Void Staff next. They could keep him out of the fights quite a bit. But then again, against All Authority, they easily could go for a turret dive if they want, but they keep setting virtual bottom. They keep, or at least in a split push, just to keep farming up. And he is getting relatively close to potentially a Warmog or Sunfire Cave.
Well, it's interesting to look at because right now we're seeing that AAA for the first time in this game have a gold lead. They got first blood early on. Oh, they found so much damage on Corellius. They get the Kayle ultimate. Will they follow up? They've got Varus. They've got the dasher from Dexter, but here comes the Shen ultimate. The Sona ult as well keeps him alive, and Dexter's now forced to run away, but they've now found Freddy. Where's the damage going to come from? Varus ult comes across almost everybody, but Shlaya picks up a kill. Hosan, will he find anything himself? Looks like not. No kills picked up for Dragonborns. The kill once again saving the lives. Sona walks away from this one. Now 5-on-4. They're going to dive in on a Movert. Will they find anything? Not quite. It's Movert still getting pushed around. Schleya and Freddy, they find the Lulu, and she goes down. Now the push on is here from Elise, but the shields are there. Yamato Cannon left alone with no one there to help his team. He's going to go down as well. 3 kills picked up for Against All Authority. They've not lost anyone. Shushay finds not anything. He does some damage to Virtual, but still not a kill.
Ulti almost up. His ulti's almost up. He could go for something here. He might be able to pick up a kill on Nona if he can just go for a random hit into that Wolves.
He looks like he's not quite going to. Schleya running away. The thing to remember is their team is still not revived, so they don't even have a comeback Baron attempt. And now it's the end of Blue Steel because AAA are going for a Blue Steel. The end of Zoolander. I got that one wrong. I waited all game for that pun. The end of Zoolander, we have Blue Steel. And Hosan trying to run away from Schleya. Shushay running and running 1v2.
Okay, well, let's take a breather, take a step back, and look at what happened. Kralis, he got caught. We had the whole first combo of Shushay go down on him. Wasn't enough to kill him. The Schleya ultimate came in a little bit. Oh god. The ultimate came in a little bit late, but it didn't prevent any damage in the end. And then you saw Movert trying to run away. No, sorry, not Movert. Kralis running away. Missed the crescendo. And yet they still weren't able to kill him, and they turned that fight back around on them. We had Yamatokin actually get Nono very low, but he repelled and went towards him where the rest of Against Authority was. So he got caught, overextended, and died. Yeah. So a great fight overall from Against Authority. Kralis living by like the skin of his teeth as he is going for an Aegis, so they're going to get that Runic Bulwark on because they are against a double AP comp as well. And Against Authority, I mean, they were behind in gold this entire game. Now they're up about 2,000.
And it's interesting as well because we mentioned early on the Aegis that we thought Dragonborns would need, and they've not got it. It's actually much more tanky. Oh, sorry, they got it on the Lulu. Thank you, I missed that one. So they did pick it up. I'm wrong. Dexter's still going for self-tankiness. Of course, we see the completed Warmogs from Yamato Cannon as well. So they're trying to be tanky, but I just keep seeing Against All Authority just diving into fights and succeeding every single time. They're now going for ward control. Corellius with another Oracles, and he is sweeping out.
And that's the thing, like, Dragonborns, they can't afford to lose team fights at this point because they're just going to keep falling further and further behind. And with the composition they have, they need to be able to burst someone, at least be able to do a ton of damage. But they can't really do that at this point because they keep losing the fights. Against Authority is getting tankier and tankier. And you have, you know, the Aegis coming out of Kralis soon. You have the double healing on Against Authority. And it seems like a downward spiral now for Dragonborns. But they still can't come back. Shushay has shown us against SK that they can easily do that if he lands a nice light binding into ultimate. And we'll just have to see if that develops.
We'll see what happens. They're going for another light binding. They do get a bit of damage on a Corellius. Freddy trying to shield himself up.
Look at that. Sorry, that was the entire Lux ultimate on Corellius, and then one kill healed, filled him up.
Yeah, he missed a little bit of the damage overall. Of course, the sustain definitely looking strong from Against All Authority. And Shushay, I don't believe he's quite 16 yet, so he's about 3 minions away. He's almost there. This actually should give him the level if he gets to finish off the camp. But looks like, actually, no, they didn't give Shushay the kill, so he's still 15.
And Dragon is up yet again for Against All Authority. They're going to be going for it. Schleya going to be getting the 3rd one of the game for them. That gives them even more gold to spend, as they don't really have a lot to buy items with just yet. But that's because they went back recently and picked up some stuff. Schleya actually went for a Lich Bane, funny enough.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. Shushay's the one that actually started doing it, if I'm not mistaken, because he goes for a very bursty Kayle build. He used to go a death cap in the EU LCS qualifiers.
He said it depended on the team he was against.
Right.
That he would go like the sort of default Nashor's Tooth Leandry sometimes, but in that game he wanted to go bursty.
Right, and it worked out well for them. Yeah. Like he would hit a Reckoning, hit an auto attack, and just blow them up quickly. And we'll see how that works out here. They are going to be going for Baron. And Dragonborns has no idea.
Not at all. They're going to get that one for free. You see Virtual split pushing. You see Schleya doing the same. So just 3 members there. Dragonborns didn't even think about it. And that is their Baron picked up. 34 minutes. And AA now have a very convincing lead. But oh, the ult's coming off. Dexter's taking so much damage. But Shushay gets the kill on a Corellius. The Shadow comes by. Freddy's in the mix as well. Dexter is going to go down. Will they have the counterattack damage? Movert goes down. The taunt comes in from Shen. Yamato Cannon is not even doing much to him at all. And there comes Diana right on top of Hosan. Hosan finds the kill though. Can he duel? No. The barrier is there. They do get the kill. Hosan's still alive. Now Virtual's going to go down. Will they take this fight? It's Schleya stuck alone. He finds one. Will Shushay find him back? Looks like not. 4 for 4.
3 seconds on Lux ulti.
Oh, will he get the damage?
For it.
He's trying to run. The flash comes off the E. The auto attack isn't going to be enough. Oh, completely outplayed. Schleya takes the ace.
Holy crap, Schleya just like shoot that light binding and that Lucent Singularity right there. And with that Lich Bane, we were talking about it. You saw the damage on that right there. Just blew him up. Against Authority, they took Baron uncontested and still came out with 4 deaths. That was not ideal.
No, not really. I mean, in general, against all authority, they took a +1 kill and they took a Baron, but none of them have the Baron buff really anymore. But you're just seeing this gold lead just start growing. They're up 5,000 now. This turret's going to go down. It's going to make it closer to 6,000 there. There you go, Shlaya. Almost didn't pick that one up, but you're seeing AAA really turn this one around, and I don't think they need to do a base race anymore. They're looking good heads up.
Well, we might see a base race come out of Dragonborn's like, guys, we're behind. Let's do what they did to us, see if it works. But I mean, looking at their lineup with, I mean, they have Hosan, yeah, but when you have a Kayle, you have a Nashor's Tooth Diana, and you have an Ezreal, I'm pretty sure they can wow,
the turret killing power is massive
and
from against all
authority.
Yeah, Diana's passive works on structures. Lichbane works on structures. You've got Ezreal to give everyone attack speed. Oh yeah, they're going to look really good for this one. We'll see what ends up happening. Dragonborn's just trying to wave clear, get themselves back into this game. I really got to point out that Shlaya is doing phenomenally, 9-1-4 on Kayle.
Yeah, he is. Especially when he was winning lane early in top lane, and that he pushed Yamada Cannon out twice, but he got killed by Yamada Cannon, and then still was able to come back from that.
Yeah, he went 9-0-4 since that.
Yeah, and he's 50 CS ahead. Too. So he's really come back in this game. He's really stepped up for his team as well during this game, because if they didn't have him there with the ultimates, with the just damage he has, they would be pretty far behind.
Well, we'll see if they can turn this one around, or sorry, not even turn it around, but keep it going in their favor. Seeing more items get completed. Freddy's going to take the blue buff for himself. No big surprise there. Blue is up for Dragonborns. We'll see if that gets picked up anytime soon. Lux is going over towards it.
And keep in mind, if Against Authority wins this game, they will surpass Ozone Giants and take 6th place.
Yes.
And then if Dragonborns wins this, they will pop out of 8th and go to 7th place. So this is a big game for both teams right now, and they really both need a win.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty important pickup right here. The blue buff, that's going to go to Shusha. He takes that one away with the E. No Sunfire Steal this time.
Yeah.
Did see that in the beginning of the day, I believe, from the Giants, though it did not keep them from winning against Gambit. What we see here is Against All Authority really starting to put the pressure on, turning the screws. They've got Shen pushing the top. They've got Nono pushing down at the bottom, and the rest of them near the mid lane. And of course, I don't think Dragonborns can base race this just yet, but they have grouped up towards the mid lane, and AAA are looking for a flank here. They fully surrounded this lineup from Dragonborns.
They're giving them no chance to go for that base race. You saw Nono at that bottom lane. He's like, wait, they're grouping up middle. I'm going to head back just so that doesn't happen this time. But still, you do see Virtual in the top lane. He's pushing up. He has a Sunfire Cape, so his pushing potential is quite high at this point, and he's keeping Dragonborns reacting to them. Like, Against Authority is the one that's causing the plays to happen. They're making Dragonborns react to them, and that really gives them that nice advantage, especially when they're really far ahead.
And you're seeing now Hosan heads up against Nono on your screen. Hosan does not want any part of that, despite the early lead he had. At this point, I don't know. I think I see better items here from Nono. And AA have now grouped up towards this bottom half of the map. The Lux ult comes by, it wave clears, but no, they will kill the minions up enough. However, Nono has stolen away the red buff, so that is good.
And still, in the top lane, Virtual split pushing, and we've been talking about this, like, that's the meta that's become. Who can out-split push who? And Virtual's doing a great job. He will be able to secure that turret as no one in Dragonborns is there to stop it, increasing their gold lead even further, and really giving them a nice bit of gold, because we look at that right now. Freddy122 is sitting at 1,900 gold to spend right now.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job of this one, really. You're just kind of seeing them control this mid to late game very, very successfully. They've fought good team fight after good team fight. They've, the great move around Baron was so strong for them, where they baited sort of Shen and Kayle and said, we're not doing anything on the map. JK, lol. Which is actually your tag, I believe.
Oh, you son of a... You were waiting all day for that, weren't you?
I wasn't, actually. That came to me just then. That's how good I am at puns, guys. And here we see that Hosan is just kind of taken away. It wasn't even a pun. I just made a joke. But Hosan is taking his farm. A lot of attack speed on him. But you're just seeing, Nono is incredibly powerful. Sorry, but we now see Against All Authority grouped up, 3 in mid. Nono's going to recall back, so no push is just available to Against All Authority. Shen still splitting the top.
I imagined you sitting at the analysis desk the entire time. Instead of watching the game, you're like, hee hee, I'm going to write down some stuff to say about Jason when we get on the caster's desk.
Oh, I've got enough to talk about. Jason, you're easy to talk about.
Yeah, it's true. Anyways, though, we do have Against Authority. They had really decent ward coverage in the enemy jungles, as well as Dragonborns, but we did see the Oracle picked up on Karaz. He's been sweeping these wards away. Baron is going to be up very soon, so it looks like that will be the next point of attack for Against Authority, and that's what they need to do. I mean, that Oracle, if they didn't pick that up, that would have given Dragonborns a really nice advantage in terms of vision, because if they could catch someone when Kayle's not there, they will be able to blow up, even even with the, well, I would say lack of damage, but even with how far behind they are right now, they still have the potential for that.
Damage they got, that one I'll give you. And they even have stuns, well, only one. They've got a couple of hard crowd controls for Kayle, so even if they catch Kayle, it's definitely a possibility. But Against All Authority, they just feel so surgical right here. They are controlling almost everything. we're seeing them just slowly try to wear this game down. They've now got a 9,000 gold lead. Of course, Dragon did just go down. They controlled that one very safely. They're re-sweeping around. Of course, Baron is up in the next minute, so they are doing all the sweeping. The Oracles here on Corellius, number 7,000, I'm going to say, so I don't underestimate. I would lose the prices right, but whatever, it's not what we're playing right here. Virtual still on the split push. We've seen that a lot, really. Shen split pushing is a common trait. Again, the wave clear coming out from Shushay doesn't quite hit everything, but again, they're trying to keep the turrets alive. And of course, they also know that Baron is coming up in 30 seconds, so you're going to see everyone in the top half of the map pretty soon.
And we do have to take a look at items real quick before we go into the next big team fight, because we have a lot of big items coming out. So if you look at Shen, you see the Spirit Visage done, so that gives them magic resist. He also has another Giant's Belt, so he is beefy. Like, you can't burst him down, ideally. You look at Kale, has a Giant's Belt, most likely going for a Warmogs, because we see the same thing over on Freddy122. He has a Zonius and a Warmog, so he can eat so much burst off the other team. And then you look at Nono. He has a Quicksilver Sash, so if you lock him down, he's going to hit that, he's going to get out and say nope. And then we look at Corellius, who has a Runic Bulwark. So they are so tanky right now, as we do see an engage happening at Freddy122.
And they do find Yamato Cannon, a lot of damage on him. He's trying to get away, flashes away from that one. Virtual, and oh, the Sona misses as well. So here comes the re-engage. He's going to miss the Varus ult. They find Freddy. He knows he's going to Zonius that and get out. Nono pops the ult, does not hit anyone as well. Virtual goes back in, finds Moobert. Moobert's not going to like that one very much. They find the stun on a Virtual. The KO has been used now. So who's going to be available? Yamato Cannon is running. Moobert goes down. 1 kill for nothing so far. And the Dragonborns have completely disengaged, and AA are safe.
And Baron is up right now, so with that little fight, that little skirmish, it was a very ballsy thing, but they came out ahead. They could potentially go for it right now, as they are kind of splitting up and not really going back for it, but we do have Freddy122. Oh, they're baiting them in. They are going to bait them in.
And Dexter's going to get found for the taunt. It's going to be a lot of damage. Virtual explodes right there. They're trying to get Dexter away. He's going to go down, and not more kills for him. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Kale, whew, does about a third of Hosan's life with just a Q.
I think Virtual was like, oops, right there. It's like, I'm going in, guys, and gets blown up by Hosan. And that kind of just blew their potential to go for Baron. Yeah, it's 3-on-4, but without your smite there, it's a very ballsy move to go for.
Nono burned all of his abilities right there. He's going to go diving in on a Hosan. Will he have the damage? Wow. No, he won't. Because, hey, you've got a Kale on your team, and no damage goes through Kale.
Yeah, that was actually had 2 great ultimates right there. You saw in the last fight, he popped on to Freddy122 because we saw the Lux ultimate go right across him, prevented all that damage. He was able to go in and continue. And then right there, keeping Nono alive, because I'm honestly not sure who would have won that trade in the end, because you do have that last Whisper, Fenanitzer, Runic Bulwark, and IE combo over to Hosan. But wow, that was an intense last fight right there. And it showed that the game still isn't over yet. It was still a pretty even fight overall.
Yeah, and of course we're seeing once again the ending of Zoolander, a blue steel. I got it right this time. Schleia picks that one up. So AAA have complete control of the buffs, and they've now started onto Baron. And Dragonborns once again are none the wiser. They're nowhere nearby. Even if they knew it was coming, actually AA are losing the 2 versus Baron fight, so they actually leave that one alone.
And this actually might be a big thing for Dragonborns, because they could potentially go for a rush on it right now. Nono is going to back away, so you will be missing quite a bit of damage. He doesn't have home guard boots, so he isn't able to get that back there quickly, but still, looks like Dragonborns wasn't aware of this. They're going to wait for Hosan to get up and try to potentially go for a pick here, or try to go for a fight, because he has an Oracle. He just picked it up, and he's actually going for Wolves right now for some reason, but he has an Oracle, so he's trying to clear the vision. He's trying to open up some opportunities for his team.
And we'll see if they do open up wide enough. Shushay just trying to wave for the mid lane, keep his base alive. Dragonborns right now very much in need of map control, but against all authority have picked up another Oracles for Corellius. That makes it 7,001 picked up here, and they have just control of the map. They've got control of the vision, and have Virtual in control of this bottom lane as no one is there to defend him.
I didn't see EG playing today.
Go ahead.
You kept saying in control, so I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
anyways,
nice.
but Virtual, yes, is split pushing that bottom lane yet again, going for a random wins Omen eventually. And that's just going to... I'm actually kind of confused by that item. It's a good item to pick up because it gives them the extra armor, but the only person you're going to shut down with that is Hosan. I mean, yeah, you shut down Dexter a little bit, but he's obviously not any sort of damage. So
he's a tank.
As long as you get to back on to Hosan and use it, it will be worth it in the end. Dragonborns, they gain control of Baron right now, and they could be potentially trying to bait against Authority in.
Oh, they find a lot of damage on the Corellius. The Varus ult hits as well. Do they have the damage of it? Yes, they do. Sona ult comes off and does not do much.
Where was the Shen ulti?
I don't think he would have thought he saved them. Maybe, I'm not sure, but he's going to keep split pushing to the bottom lane. So Dragonborns have right now a 5-on-3 And if Shen goes in, I don't know if that's still enough. So Dragonborns, they're starting on Nashor.
I think they might just go for a push on the turrets in the middle lane. And as I say that, we see against Authority, they're going to come around to Baron. They're going to try to stop this here. They have the damage to do it, but it is a 3-on-5 situation. Obviously, Virtual can ulti into there, and he is ulting right now.
They're going to go right on in. It's Freddy right in the mix, has the Kayle ult as well. Actually, Shusha gets out of the fight. Going to ult right back in. He's going to find Freddy. He's going to find Virtual. What's it going to be? It's Dexter forced out right now. Elise pops up. She's going to look for something, but does not find almost anything at all. Nona picks up the kill, and now it's Hosan getting dropped down. They finally answer back onto that kill, but now it's Virtual in the front. He's going to find one more. Mover goes down, and that is AAA winning 3 kills for 1 right there. A triple kill coming out for No. Yes, he cries, and where will he find another kill? Looks like he's already killed some dragons. Now he's going to kill Baron Nashor.
So a 4-on-5, they come out with 4 kills, losing 1 person, and taking Baron on top of that. That was perfect for them. That Kayle ultimate just prevents so much damage. They just have so much damage flat out as long as Virtual ends that nice taunt. And now with this Baron buff on 4 members, they're going to go for a push here. As you see Shlea just taking up that middle turret, trying to get it down here. But with only Dexter pretty much defend with 30 seconds on the rest of Dragonborns, they're at least going to lose an inhibitor off of this.
Yeah, they're definitely looking pretty good on this push so far. Now, Nono will be taking this one up, and he's not going to have any issues with that one. Still 20 seconds on anyone from Dragonborns to respawn. So this inhibitor is theirs. Nono actually pieces out and goes to the bottom lane, and that turret does not have much health, so he's going to get that one for free. And let's see if the team goes for anything else next. Dragon is up, so if they want a 5th kill in this fight, they will look for the Dragon there. Or they might... Yep, they're not going to keep pushing, so that's what their goal might just be.
And Freak, look at the gold we currently have on against Authority right now. 3,500 on No. He's pretty much almost, he's almost full. So when he goes back, he's probably going to have that. This one's go for the Mercurial Scimitar.
Scimitar, yeah, he's got 1,400 for a Last Whisper. It's about 2K to upgrade Quicksilver Sash to Scimitar. And then he might be looking at a Boot Enchant. At least elixirs.
And we still have 3,000 on Virtual to spend, so if he wasn't tanky enough, he's just going to get that much more tanky. He's going to finish that Random Endowment, work towards another item as well. And against Authority, I mean, they were winning these fights a little at a time, and they've just taken that and started to snowball it.
And they've just done amazingly time after time after time. Even the 5-on-4 that Dragonborns had, they were just out-positioned, really. The hard crowd control was not available, and it did not matter. AA found that fight beautifully, and we just see them, once again, trying to control everything. Baron, of course, did go down. Corellius doesn't wear the buff because he was dead when that happened, but hey, the rest of them at least are shiny and purple.
Yeah, I have to point this out, and I feel slightly bad doing it, but Corellius has missed three ultimates this entire game so far, and that it's kind of surprising because even though against Authority, or even though he's missed those, against Authority, he's still winning by a large margin.
It's just they've been very successful at it, really. You're looking at how they've been team fighting, and they don't need to lock the team down to do well because they have so much damage from the back line. And you mentioned it again in the beginning that you know, Lux is looking for burst damage, and it's getting blocked by Kayle time and again. And so there's not a lot of recourse left. You just see Shen just end Hosan's day every time.
Yeah, they're really trying to pressure him out. If you have that, him as well as Freddy, just dive into the backline on him. There's no way he can survive, especially if he doesn't have that flash up. And that Lux ultimate on Freddy did not anything.
It dropped him to half after a Sona heal in his shield, and of course now he's getting sustained back up. So, yeah, if you're Shusha, you want a little bit more damage, but well, you're doing as well as you can. 2-2-7, 359 minion kills. He's certainly not poor, but AA are just richer right now. We see a 48-minute game right here, the final of the day. At this point, we have these teams really fighting for position against all authority. Are up against Dragonborn's base, and we'll see if they can find an opening right here. The middle inhibitor is dead. Will they get another one?
And the thing is, you have to keep in mind that middle inhibitor, right, just as you said, is down, so it allows them to split push at their own pace. You have the top lane getting cleared out with by Lux, you know, as every time the cooldown is up. But as long as they just sit there, as long as they just keep split pushing, have Virtue at the bottom, who's uncontested right now, the middle wave is going to flood with super minions, and then they can just do damage to top and bottom turrets. So against Authority is in the driver's seat right now.
And of course, you know, Shen is virtually unkillable as well. So you look at all of his tank items,
that's good
and no one is really able to stop him. He shows up. And yeah, he loses his minions, then just shows up again afterwards. And you're just seeing time and again against all authority, they just have the numbers advantage in almost every fight. The ult comes by again, clears the minions, but that's all we're seeing Dragonborns do is kill minions and slowly take damage on their turrets.
Yeah, and the bottom turret, speaking of that, is already almost down as the rest of the members come in. They do secure that one, and they could secure this inhibitor. Also if they want to, they could probably go for a 5-man push down there and start a team fight, or at least guarantee that other inhibitor. Nono's still sitting towards the top side right now. Looks like he will be edging his way over eventually. Against all, we're going to back out over on the bottom.
It looks like that is what's happening. Of course, the base is just slowly falling over for the Dragonborns, and now You can see this other inhibitor is falling. Light Binding does not quite land. Losing Singularity, not doing much either. Stun goes off. Yamato Cannon gets timed up. They're going to go in onto him. Look at the burst damage onto that one. Lulu comes across, but who's going to go down? There's the Sona ult. There's the Ezreal ult as well. Everyone is losing health bars. No one has yet died. Oh, the Sinja ult's so strong, but they do not find Virtual. AAA will disengage with an inhibitor kill.
And that was so close for Dragonborns. They almost picked that up completely. They do have Homegrunners. Looks like they still might potentially try to chase him down here, but I think Kale's going to be a little bit too quick. But still, the damage is done. 2 inhibitors are down. You have Baron coming up in about 3 minutes, actually less than 3 minutes, about 2 minutes. So as one off recently, and the top turret is starting to be chipped down. So against Authority, backing with even more gold right now. They're just looking so solid. It's pretty much win this game.
Yeah, I mean, they are just stretching a lead right now. They're getting farther and farther ahead. You're seeing now 15,000 gold, which is, I'm not sure, but I feel like it's the biggest numerical gold lead we've seen so far today. I know we had 10K between one of our matches earlier, Hosan in a duel with Nono, but look at the shields available. Still almost won the fight. Hosan's got a bunch of damage on him, but nice job saving them right there. Very Virtual. Wave's getting cleared out in the top lane again. AA just keeps pushing.
Hosan killed him, I think, 1.5 times over right there, but that Shen ulti barely keeping him alive. But still, he's down for 60 seconds. They have a 5-man push if they want to go for it onto any of these lanes right now. Baron is up in about 1:20 seconds, so against Authority, I'm not sure if they're going to go for the win here, try to push down that last inhibitor, or just kind of set up for Baron.
Goes for the Cocoon, does not land onto Nono. No kill picked up yet for Yamato. The team is going to keep on moving, though. The top turret is gone. The middle inhibitor and top inhibitor both under siege right now. Dragonborns are about to be facing a whole heck of a lot of super minions. That is the third inhibitor going down. Will they go for the fight? Slow onto Mover. There's the push in from Diana. A little bit of damage there. They've not quite found a kill yet, though. They're going to go on in for the turrets. Here they come on in. The scoreboard is down, and here comes Virtual at the bottom half. They're going to engage. Dexter finds it. Oh, where's the burst going to go? It's going to be back in from AAA. Who's going to go down first? It might just be the Nexus instead without any champion kills, and that is it. The Nexus goes down in a full 5-on-5. Dragonborns 0-2 against Authority.
Yeah, against Authority, winning the rematch right there yet again. And they're looking so happy on their side. That was such a great game played by every single member of their team. They just, wow. I mean, I really have to say that, just wow, because they came back when they were already behind. They got first blooded. They were down 3-0. We're still able to turn that game around.
And just amazing, really, team fighting from them as well. The early game was so rough. First blood, 3-0, a lot of pressure. The Dragon steal, in the top right, Elise killed a free turret. They stole Dragon, only lost 1 kill. And then AA still turned it around.
And the bot lane was always pushed up against them, and Nona was able to come back. He didn't pass him in CS, but passed him in kills, and that's all that really matters in the end.
Kills are the only thing that matters, in fact. If you play League of Legends, all you want are champion kills. Assists? Nope. Buildings? Nope. Win the game? Kills.